What's up, everybody? I'm KJ Smith,
And I'm Joe Tipton.
and this is the And One podcast. We'd like to welcome in Nimari Burnett, former McDonald's All American and five-star recruit. Nimari started out his college career at Texas Tech, where he's at the time the highest ranked recruit to ever commit to the Red Raiders in the modern recruiting era, but has now since transferred to Alabama. Nimari, thanks for joining us.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so Joe, I believe you helped Namari during his recruitment process with a couple schools at its, and then when he transferred from Tech to Bama, right?
Yep, that's right. So the
Yes, sir.
first that it was a top 12 schools, and then the more you narrowed it down to five: Alabama, Louisville, Michigan, Tech, and Oregon. And then I think it came down to Alabama, Oregon, Texas Tech. Is that right, Namar?
Yes, sir.
And then I remember you told me you wanted to keep it really quiet. You didn't want, anybody to spoil your commitment. And I remember you said you had only told your parents where you were going.
Yep.
So what went into that decision, and why did you end up choosing Texas Tech?
Initially, I chose Texas Tech because it was something new, something different. The guys like to go to, whether it's blue bloods, even though I didn't get offers from those type of programs. But I just wanted to do something different. I felt Texas Tech was on the rise with Coach Chris Beard. Felt like it was a phenomenal coach. You know, big on defense and something that I pride myself on. And also, having guys in the green room with years before, and like truly on the rise and getting better. And the player development was a big thing there. So I saw myself there as a great fit, and help them win, at the highest level. So yeah, that's what went into the initial recruitment.
Was there a particular time that you remember when you thought to yourself, yeah, I want to go to Texas Tech? Did you have a moment like that?
Beforehand, no, I did not. Before even they even started recruiting me, I never thought of Texas Tech as me possibly going there. And I always thought highly of, going to college and so did everybody. Everybody as far as, a lot of college players or I'm sorry, a lot of high school players dreamed of going to the college of their choice or their dream school, things like that. And Texas Tech was not one of them. But when I saw what they had to offer, what I, could gain from going there and how I can accomplish and reach my dreams there, felt like it was a great fit.
What was the reaction like after you chose Texas Tech? Were people surprised that you picked them? What was the feedback like?
Many people were surprised. A lot of people, it's like, man, either why did you pick them or I did not see that coming. And that's exactly what I wanted to do. I'm a big surprising guy, and I like to, see people, see people's reactions on their faces, and so that was really dope to see. And people did not expect it.
So, Namari, I remember following your recruitment before you ended up committing to Texas Tech, and for quite some time, Alabama was a favorite to land you. Was there any truth to that?
It was 100% true. Um, I don't know how these guys come up with these crystal balls. I don't know how they do it, but they be right most of the time. So Alabama was one of the favorites. It was actually the favorite going into my senior year.
Okay, so correct me if I'm wrong, but you had a relationship with both Nate Oates and Brian Hodgson while they were at Buffalo. So, like, tell me a little bit about that.
So my sophomore year of high school, they were recruiting Janathan Williams, who
Okay.
then had committed there, and Janathan was like my best friend at the time. Both was playing at Prolific Prep, great teammate. And so once he committed there, they're like, man, if he was at another school, we recruit you, but we at Buffalo, we love you, all that. And basically, um, as soon as they got the Alabama job, I was probably one of the first people they called in. I just felt that I could actually grow in that system. They had the system in place, had the relationship in place. We were very, we were communicating at a high level, as far as college coaches and players. And so I felt like the love from them. I felt wanted, needed, and that's part of why they was top on my list at first.
So Nimari, let's switch gears a little bit. A lot of fans don't know this, but before you committed to Texas Tech, the NBA G League approached you. I remember me and you talked about this just briefly and inquired about your services, but you and your family weren't interested and you declined. Was that an easy decision for you to make to just choose the college route, or was that G League money somewhat tempting?
It was definitely easy, and the reason for that is because it was new, and I felt like it's something that higher ranked guys benefited from, like top 5, top 10 guys. And obviously, I wasn't at that type of level. And I was like, nah, this won't be it for me. I feel like I definitely have to prove myself on a college level before I make that, decision and that jump. So it's basically for guys who, are established, like they're going to be a top 5, top 10 pick. And those type of guys, did well there. And I just felt like it wasn't for me. So I declined for that reason.
So your former prolific prep teammate Jalen Green ended up choosing G League and got drafted. Did you have any conversations with him on how he enjoyed it or what it was like?
Oh, for sure. We talked briefly about it, but I know he was getting better there. He said it was a great route for him, and I agree. As soon as he made the decision, I'm like, that's a great decision. A lot of people don't necessarily know, or like they just be out the loop, or they just don't really have that much information, and they just say, oh, that wasn't a good decision, or he should have went to college, play against the college guys.
Yeah.
And everything is if certain things aren't for everybody, and I feel like it was the best decision for him to grow and to get to where he needed to be, and I was very happy for him.
So Nimari, I'm not sure if you've seen, but these pro options, the NBL, G League, Overtime Elite, they're becoming more and more prevalent for these top recruits that are on their college lists. As someone who's a former top recruit, what words of wisdom would you give to these high school kids going through the recruiting process and weighing the pro option versus the college route?
Um, any advice, right? That's what you asked.
Yes.
Um, just to make sure that that pro option is best for you, because certain guys is different, and chasing the money, or not chasing, just wanting to get the money earlier could be either good or bad. And so, like I said, as far as guys that are higher ranked and have the potential and have the skill set to go on those pro levels and go straight to the league, or whatever their aspirations are afterwards, they have to be ready. And because you can go there and get left out the bunch, and now you either sitting there or going to the G League, all over again. So it's just really weighing the options, taking your time with any decision you make, and being smart about it, having genuine people in your corner to tell you whether it's a good idea or a bad idea, and weighing out the pros and cons. So it's more a feel, who you are as a player, and who you are as a person as well.
Let me ask you this. Do you know anything about the Overtime Elite League? Do you know anything about it besides just seeing the headlines?
I actually don't. I haven't read much about it, and I see a few guys have joined the league. I'm like, oh, this is a serious thing right here. And so it's really dope to see, though. Best, especially being a part of overtime in a way, and I feel like it could be a good opportunity. I definitely got to read more into it, though.
Gotcha.
So let's hop back into the Texas Tech conversation and lay out the timeline. You commit on November 12th, sign the next day, enroll in August, and I think you play about 12 games by the time January rolls around, and then you decide to enter the transfer portal. So what went into that decision, and why did you decide to transfer?
The biggest thing with that decision is it just wasn't a good fit for me, as a player, as a person. And it was all sorts of things that was, kind of shaky, being in that situation, and just a lot of things that affect me. That wasn't going to be best for me, and it was perfect to have what was going on this past year as far as COVID and being able to enter the transport portal and being able to play right away. So knowing that really helped me, make a decision. And like I said, it just wasn't a great situation for me. And ultimately in life, you got to do what's best for you. And if you not happy, if you not gonna be the best you can be in that certain system, then you gotta, make decisions for yourself. So that's what the decision was in the timeline, basically.
Nimari, you're obviously a very kind and respectful guy, and that's always something I've appreciated about you. But what were those initial conversations like with the coaching staff and your teammates? When you told them you wanted to transfer out of Lubbock, I know that had to be a tough conversation to have.
For sure, it was a tough conversation to have. Like you said, I try to be as genuine as possible, and in some of those situations, you can't really be genuine. You got to be straightforward. You got to be, you can be genuine with it, but more so straightforward. And I told Coach Beard, you're a great coach. That never changed, and I wish you guys the best. And it just didn't work out for neither parties, and especially me for where I want to be in. Um, I wanted to win. At the same time, so I felt like it wasn't, the best opportunity for me to do so. So it was definitely a tough conversation. Things were said that could come out of anger or could come out of just not being happy. So felt like I remained respectful, remained genuine though, and that's a part of growing up.
So you go back home to California, you're working out, and your name's in the transfer portal. Who are some of the initial schools that reached out?
Um, Illinois was one of the first schools that reached out. Alabama was one of the first. Yeah, Arkansas had a couple more that I really can't remember, but it's a lot of schools that was interested in. I would say about 15 ish in that area, and it was definitely good to see. Especially the year that not only our team had, but I had, and like college coach still believed in me, and I never not believed in myself. I know how much work I had put in, even through those tough times. So to see that and to see the interest in the continued recruitment, it was definitely good to see.
Nimari, I remember when you were still in the transfer portal, I spoke to your dad, and he said it was like the high school days all over again, with all
I
the
was gonna say
colleges
that.
hitting you up. Was that a little tedious and stressful to go through that recruiting process all over again?
We definitely made it to where we didn't want it to be stressful again. Um, Definitely wanted to take our time with it though, but seriously considered all the schools for what they were, not based on what they told us. And I watched a lot of film on the schools that were recruiting me, a lot of film, a lot of um, games, So that was the positive, the pro of leaving early. I still got to watch the rest of the season, and see those schools that were recruiting me. So definitely felt like high school all over again, and definitely handled it differently though.
So when your name was in the transfer portal, did you visit any college campuses to see where you'd want to transfer to, or was it all kind of just done on Zoom because of the pandemic?
Yeah, all of it was done on Zoom. Had a Zoom with Illinois, set up phone calls, talked to Alabama, and I did not um, go on anybody's campus though. So, but most of the schools that I was interested in, I've already visited that campus. I visited Illinois on an unofficial when I was in like probably like going to my sophomore year. Even though it was a long time ago, I still had a little familiarity with them, and but that was another good thing that some of the schools that recruited me, they already had recruited me before.
So which schools did it really come down to?
It really came down to Illinois, Alabama. At first, just remember another school that was involved, Oregon, and like I said, a couple more schools, but came down to Illinois, Alabama.
So obviously you ended up choosing Bama. What went into that decision and why them?
Um, I just love their play style. They are very similar to the NBA, and where I want to see myself, as soon as possible. And um, seeing it for myself and not hearing it was the best part about it. Scoring 80, 90 plus on the college level. Sometimes those games wasn't they didn't even shoot it that well. And scoring at that high level and playing that fast, really fits me and fits what I'm all about. And also the defensive side of it, they didn't really get a whole lot of love defensively as they maybe could have done or have gotten, but they were really good defensively, and that's part of why they were so good. Like Herb Jones being the defensive player of the year in the SEC, just a part of it, and showing how much in practices right now, defense is a big thing that we cover and pay attention to. So yeah.
What was your initial impression with the Alabama fan base after you announced your decision on social media? Were you kind of shocked with all the love you got?
I was actually shocked, especially the first go around. Them being a close second and not going there, and to see it come full circle and to see them, bring the love, show the love, and blow up my page, blow up your page. It was really dope to see, and I'm happy to be a part of Roll Tide Nation. Very excited for this year.
I remember Shams broke the news about you committing to Alabama, and obviously usually just covers the NBA. So how did that come about? Do you have a relationship with him? Did he reach out to you? You reach out to him? How did it work?
I forgot who put me into contact with Shams, but somebody did when I left Texas Tech, and he announced me leaving Texas Tech, and we created a relationship, and followed him on Twitter and Instagram, and so that was set before that, and it was great to have him post, that I committed to Alabama.
So you arrive on campus. What are your thoughts walking around the first day of school? And like, how long ago have you been there? Yeah.
I've been there, since May 24th, and my first thought was just how blessed I am, how far I've come, in this journey, how hard I've been working, and how much time and effort and energy and passion I put into the sport, the game I play. So it was also good to see, some of the familiar faces I saw on my visit. Some of the teammates who, played, a great part of them winning a lot last year. And it was just good to see that. And, my first thing was I went to get some shots up on the practice gym and, just get a feel for it. And very excited about that. See the locker room, just get a whole another feel for it. And I was just excited for that, especially with that break of just watching college basketball and watching basketball in general to not only help me, knowledgeable, but, get in touch with the team, get a feel for the team, their weaknesses and strengths. And so it was good to set foot on there.
And you've been on the college or on the campus before for a visit, so you had a feel. But I mean, I'm sure it's different now living. So living there, I mean, what is it like during the summer? I know there's probably not a lot of kids there, but have you had any fan interactions yet, or what's it like on a day to day?
Definitely had a few fan interactions. I remember going to Jersey Mike's. Somebody was always selling Nimari. It was, just dope to always see that. Being on campus, even though it's not a lot of people, but it is about to be in like 2 weeks. So very excited about that. But it was good to see, a few fans there, go to class and get a whole feel for it again. And one thing I can tell you about it is it is hot. It's hot, humid in Alabama. But it was super hot on my visit, and that was in September of 2019. So excited though for this year and the fans as well.
So you mentioned Jersey Mike's. Have you found a favorite spot to eat on campus yet?
Yeah, I don't eat a lot of things as far as like I don't eat dairy and beef and pork, but Jersey Mike's might be it as far as their sandwiches good,
They
real
won.
good. It might be them. It might be.
All right, I got you. Who's your roommate, by the way?
I'm with Keon Ellis and Noah Gurley.
Okay, cool. Gotcha.
Super cool, chill roommates. They actually kind of like me in a way. Like we super laid back, kind of introverts, how room bodies, house bodies. So we super cool.
Okay, so it's no secret that traditionally Alabama has been known as a football school, but as of recently, you guys have been making a splash in basketball as well. Finished number one in the SEC last season and made it to the Sweet 16 last year during March Madness. What message do you have to the fans to still consider Alabama a football school?
Um, Basketball is coming. That's my message to Alabama fans. We're coming. I'm happy to be a part of a come up as far as that, and I'm excited for this year. I'm excited for y'all to come out and cheer at the games, watch the games, and interact. And excited to see y'all.
So, Nimari, as you know, Alabama lost a lot of talent last year. John Petty, Herb Jones, Jordan Bruner, Alex Reed, Josh Primo, and a couple others. But you guys have reloaded with yourself, J.D. Davison, Charles Biatico, Noah Gurley, Jason Holt. What can Alabama fans expect this season from you guys?
Y'all can expect a lot of wins. Being active defensively, we have a lot of length on the team, a lot of athleticism, and guys are just getting better. Even guys that were here last year that didn't necessarily play a lot will be, have a bigger role on this team and a huge role in the team and take us to the next level. Very excited for this year, and what I can say is it will be a lot of wins.
To any Alabama fans that aren't familiar with you yet, how would you describe your game?
A three and D guy, playing hard on both ends of the floor, running, getting out of transition, and just you'll see me smiling a whole lot on the court. I'm a very happy guy, and love to have fun and enjoy winning with my teammates.
So I'm a Carolina guy. I went to UNC and played. So when I asked the question, is there any game you're looking forward to? If anybody asks me that, it's automatically Duke. So at Alabama, is there any game you're looking forward to this year?
First school that come on my mind is Kentucky. I always want to play against them, and I'll be very excited for that, whether it's home or away.
Do you have any pregame ritual, any specific music, or artists you listen to before each game?
My pregame ritual is more so meditation, easing my mind rather than music. So I turn on some meditation, spot type music, chill for 15, 20 minutes and just ease my mind and, be able to be free mentally, so I can be my best on the court.
So NIL, something new for college athletes. I've seen you partnered with Degree Breaking Limits. How did that come about?
That came about through Open Doors. Open Doors is basically a platform that, businesses and, deals can come through to you. So I was very excited. I signed up like 4 or 5 days before I got the degree deal. And I was very excited to, to be a part of the start of the NIL, era. And very excited for the deals upcoming in the future.
Degrees is slept on deodorant too. I use that one. I mean, it's one of the best out there. I'm not gonna lie. But so you signed with Degree. Is Alabama letting you guys have free reign, or are they asking you that report all deals and partnerships, or how does that work?
It's a bit of both. We want to make sure as far as those deals, it was perfectly okay to post something and I get paid for it. So when it comes to contracts and details and lists of certain requirements or things to do, you send that right over to compliance, and they give you okay. And compliance is very quick. Literally take like 5 minutes if that. So they own it, and it's very easy, with compliance and getting deals done.
Do you have any concerns with the new NIL legislations, not just for yourself, but your teammates, other players, anything like that?
Really just like not letting it consume you. Make sure you keep what's always been a priority, the same priority, school basketball. Working hard, and those deals will come. It will come with how you perform on the court, perform on the field. So you're doing your job and keeping your priority straight, those things will come. So never stressing about it or worrying or even focusing on it, just letting it come to you and letting it all be natural.
How about the new transfer rules? So players don't have to sit out a year anymore. How do you feel about that?
That's very dope. Like I was very excited, to be a part of that, and not having to sit out a year because that would have been stressful. And I know a couple guys who said they were not a big fan of it at all whatsoever. So very excited for different guys who will transfer in the future, and happy to be a part of it myself.
And to close this out, Nimari, I want to do some rapid fire questions to see how well you know your teammates so far. And the answer can be yourself too. So the first one is bounciest on the team.
JD, for sure.
Best shooter.
I'm gonna say me.
Best passer.
Thank you.
The one that's always late to practice or late to class.
D Mouse, Darius Mouse.
The funniest.
Darius Mouse.
Who has the most drip on the team?
I say JQ.
All right.
Well, thank you so much for your time, Nimari. We enjoyed having you on our podcast. Best of luck at Alabama. We'll be watching and we'll tune in for sure.
Appreciate y'all for having me.
Yeah, man, we appreciate you. Best of luck, man. Stay in touch.
Yes, sir, always.
All right. Thanks again, man.
Thanks again.
All right.
For sure.